In the previous class, we have studied about degree of freedom. In this class, we are going to see about Grashopp's law and some inversions of four-bar chain mechanism. First, let us see what is Grashopp's law. In this mechanism, they are given four links. In this mechanism, they are given four links. One fixer link. All the fixer links will be considered as 1, and one crank, one connecting rod, and one lever. Grashopp's law states that sum of shortest and longest link length should not be greater than the sum of remaining two link length. For example, in this case, link 2 and link 1. This is link 1. Link 1 is the longest link in this mechanism. Link 1 is the longest link in this mechanism, and link 2 is the shortest link in this mechanism. If you add the length of link 1 and link 2, it should be less than the lengths of link 3 and link 4. The summation of length of link 1 and 2 should be less than the summation of length of length 3 and 4. Length of link length 3 and 4. So that's what they are given. The sum of shortest and longest link length should not be greater than the sum of remaining two link length. If the particular mechanism obey this law, then they are called as class 1 mechanism. Suppose if the mechanism didn't obey this law, means they are called as class 2 mechanism. If the particular mechanism obeyed this law, means they are called as class 1 mechanism. If they didn't obey, means they are called as class 2 mechanism. Here they are given some examples. Let us take case number A. Case A. We will take case A. Here shortest link length is 5. Longest link length is 9. If we add 5 and 9, we will get 14. Okay. Remaining two link length 6 and 7. If you add, means you will get 13. So the sum of shortest and longest link length is higher than the sum of remaining link length. So it is not obeying Grashopp's law. It is not obeying Grashopp's law. So we have to tell this as class 2 mechanism. We have to tell this as a class 2 mechanism. Similarly, case B. Here shortest link length is 4, longest link length is 9. Add 4 and 9, we will get 13. Remaining two link length is 7 and 7. If you add both the link length, means you will get 14. So it obeys Grashopp's law. It obeys Grashopp's law. So it is class 1 mechanism. Okay. Similarly, you can do it for case C and case D. Next topic, inversion of mechanism. Inversion of mechanism means, I'll tell you. Here we have a 4-bar chain mechanism. Here we have a 4-bar chain mechanism. In this case, link 1 is the fixer link. Link 1 is the fixer link. But instead of fixing link 1, if I fix some other links, for example link 2 or link 3, link 4, instead of fixing link 1, if I fix some other links, link 2 or link 3 or link 4, then that is called as inversion of mechanism. That is called as inversion of mechanism. Otherwise, if I originally the link 2 might have a length of 5 centimeter. If I change the length of the link, or if I change the size of the link, shape of the link, then that also called as inversion of mechanism. From original mechanism, if I change the fixed link, or if I change any one link length or shape or size, then that is called inversion of mechanism. That's what they are given here. By changing the fixed link, the number of mechanisms which can be obtained is equal to the number of links. So if we have 4 links means, then we can get 4 kind of inversion of mechanism. So this is what I told. Okay, in the case A, link Q is fixed, but in case B, link L is fixed. So case B is the inversion of case A. Look at case C. In case C, link S is fixed. So this is also inversion of case A. Look at case D. Here also they have fixed different link P. They have fixed link P. So this is also the inversion of case A. This is how we will get different kind of mechanism. From one basic mechanism, we can get lot of mechanism by changing the fixed link, or by changing the shape, or by connecting some extra portions. We can get lot of mechanisms. Also, here in case A, crank is rotating. Crank is rotating, and lever is oscillating. Lever is oscillating. Okay, wow. But in case B, direction changed. Here also crank is rotating and lever is oscillating, but the position changed. But in case C, connecting rod L will behave as a crank. Here this earlier in case A, Q is a fixed link, but now Q is not the fixed link. In case C, Q is not the fixed link, S is a fixed link. So there is no lever. L will act as one crank. Q is also act as another one crank. Lever means it will have oscillating motion. Crank means it will have rotary motion. Okay, ba? Lever will have oscillatory motion. Crank will have rotary motion. In case C, we have 2 cranks. But look at case D. Here they have fixed P. Since they have fixed P, link L and link Q, both the links will act as a lever, because both the links will just oscillate here and there. That's all. It cannot rotate. Okay. In this module, we are going to see the inversion of 4-bar chain mechanism, inversion of single-threaded crank chain mechanism, inversion of double-threaded crank chain mechanism. But in this video, we are going to see only the inversion of 4-bar chain mechanism. Rest of the things we will see in the next video. So we are going to see about beam engine, coupling rod of locomotive, Watt's indicator mechanism. First, let us see the 4-bar chain mechanism. Already in the previous class itself, I have shown you the 4-bar chain mechanism. Once again, here also they have given the 4-bar chain mechanism. So here AD is a crank. AD is a crank. So this is the working of 4-bar chain mechanism. So here AD is a crank. Crank will have rotary motion. AB is a fixed link. AB is a fixed link. BC is a lever. Lever will have oscillatory motion. In the animation you could see. CD is a connecting rod. Connecting rod is nothing but which is used to a member which is connecting crank and lever. That's all. Okay, this is a 4-bar chain mechanism or single slider crank chain. Sorry, not single slider crank chain. It's just a 4-bar chain mechanism. Single slider crank chain later we will see. So it is having 4 links: AB fixed link, AD crank, CD connecting rod, BC lever. Now we are going to see the inversion of 4-bar chain mechanism. This is the first inversion. This is the first inversion. Okay. If you see up to this portion, it will look like a 4-bar chain mechanism. If you see only this segment, it will look like a 4-bar chain mechanism. Okay, ba? So crank, connecting rod, lever. AB is the crank. BC is the connecting rod. CD is the lever. AD is the fixed link. Once again I am telling, AB crank, BC connecting rod, CD lever. Okay. Why it become a inversion? Because CD connecting rod is extended. The shape of connecting rod is changed and the length of connecting rod is extended. That's why it is called as inversion of 4-bar chain mechanism. People used to call this as beam engine or crank and lever mechanism. From the animation itself, you can understand the working principle of beam engine. When when the crank rotates, piston rod will push the piston in the downward direction inside the cylinder. Okay, when AB rotates, piston rod will move up and down. When it moves down, the piston will be pushed inside the cylinder. When it moves in the upward direction, piston will be pulled out of the cylinder. This is also another form of beam engine, a small change. In the olden days, they have used beam engine to take water from well, to suck water from well. Second one, once again, inversion of 4-bar chain mechanism. One more example, coupling rod of locomotive or double crank mechanism. You might have seen the locomotive engine. In the front side, if you see, means you can see this setup in the front side of the engine. Okay, you can see this setup in locomotive engines. Okay, so here AB is a fixed link. AD and BC are 2 cranks. In the mechanism you can see here one crank. Okay, one crank, at this place one crank. Okay, wow? 2 cranks, they are rotating. So AD one crank, BC another one crank, and CD will be connecting rod. Since it is having two cranks, it is called as double crank mechanism. Next one, Watt's indicator mechanism. Watt's indicator mechanism. This is also an example for inversion of 4-bar chain mechanism. AC is a link, CDE is another one link, DFD is another one link. Okay, where CE will act as a lever. We can also tell this as a straight line mechanism because the path of E, if you trace the path of E, it will be exactly straight line. This is also used to take water from well or suck the water from the well. Okay. So these are the examples for inversion of 4-bar chain mechanism. So in this class we have seen about Grashopp's law. Then we have seen about 4-bar chain mechanism, then inversion of 4-bar chain mechanism. We will see the inversions of single cylinder crank chain mechanism in the next class.